officials tonight. And Pittsburgh able to control the opening tip. Panthers again on the bubble. A top 4 seed in the ACC tournament still on the line. And Blake Hinson knocks down his first shot, a triple. Nobody's made more threes in the ACC.
No one. And then he comes out. First play of the game is designed to get him a three. He knocks it down. Great sign for the Panthers.
BC loves to play through the Dutchman, Quinten Post. Here's the double team. And we'll get a reach and foul. It's on Hinson.
As you can see here, no one has taken or made more threes. You got to find him and know where he is at all times. The way he stretches, he'll shoot it from the logo. So you got to know where he is and get to him. That time, he hit a difficult shot over a smaller defender.
And he's had some monster games this season. Hit 9 threes a couple of times. Has had games with 7 threes. Carrington on the drive. That is way off by Zach Austin, the high point transfer. Claudell Harris pushing. So a short-lived start for Tia. Post blocked. Carrington, catch, release, swish.
We talked about Jalen Lowe, what he brings. You saw the steal on the other end of the floor. Pushes it, finds Bub Carrington for a wing for 3. His ability to make plays in the open court just like that is why this team is so impressive from the three-point line.
Claudell Harris been in a little bit of a shooting slump. Here is Zachary. McLaughlin from the corner, and Devin McLaughlin, who had just 10 total points the last 2 games, but did have a stretch where he scored in double figures in 6 straight. He's played much better in conference.
He has. He's taken that sophomore leap when you come in after your freshman year, a full offseason, and just his ability to just attack matchups, play inside and out. That time showing you his range from behind the three-point line.
A lot of dribbling by Federico. 2-man game with Lowe and Hinson. Hinson draws the double, kicks it out to Lowe. And that was almost a rare assist for Blake Hinson.
He doesn't get many. He's going to tell Lowe there, you got to knock it down when I finally pass it to you.
Only 21 assists in 28 games all season. Post got great position as Federico fell down.
He did. I thought they missed him a couple of times early. The officials are letting him play inside. A lot of physicality inside that time. And I think Post told his guys, hey, you missed me the first 2 possessions. You need to find me now.
Lowe, the step back. This time he hits. He scored in double figures in 7 straight.
Well, when you run a ball screen with Hinson, he's dictating matchups, whether you want to switch or you don't. And most teams try to put a certain guy on him. So the more you can put Hinson in screens, you can dictate to the defense like that. As you can see here, they don't want to switch with Hinson. They want to leave Jaden Zachary on him. Harris is going under the screen, and you can't go under twice to get back to the shooter. Lowe makes him pay.
4 of Pittsburgh's 5 shots are for 3. Make it 5 out of 6, and they are locked in. That's Zach Austin. This is a Pittsburgh team in league play where 44% of their shots are threes. That's the highest rate of any team in the ACC.
They shoot it with confidence because none of them outside of Hinson have shoot it great statistically. Zach Austin is 27% from 3 and just steps in after nearly airballing the shot.
Pitt may have tipped that in off the McLaughlin miss. Earl Grant, the BC head coach, his biggest concern tonight was defending the 3.
And the other part of that is here, just like this, you got to contain the dribble. Great job by Quinten Post, switching on Bub Carrington and forcing the turnover.
Madsen from McLaughlin, who lost the handle. Zachary will kick it out. Harris steps into one. Too strong. Claudell Harris, Charleston Southern's leading scorer a year ago, but just 7 for his last 26 entering play.
They're trying to keep a bigger body on Hinson and dictate coverage.
Carrington, and Pitt is 5 of 6 from downtown. This is a team that averages more than 9 threes per game in conference play.
They're already at 5 to start the first 5 made field goals from behind the line, and this is how Pitt plays. And when they're knocking these threes down, they can beat anybody. You know they're going to defend the three-point line well on the other end. They lead the ACC in defending the three.
Harris on the dribble drive, throws it up, and Lowe comes away with the rebound. Pitt pushing. Lowe accelerates, left it short.
They're hot from behind the three-point line there. I think Lowe see he had guys behind him running to that line.
Pitt's 0 for 2 inside the arc. Harris off the shot fake. Not close. McLaughlin, the post, and it drops in.
Those two guys play well. They play off each other so well. One guy's in a dunker spot, the other guy in a high post. Look for Post and McLaughlin to play off each other all night. Now they got to switch this. They got to go to the switch now, and this is the game. This will be how you got to be pitched.
Hinson bullies his way to the basket, and he got it to go. Everything falling for the Pitt Panthers early.
It's a horse contest here in Conte form, and Pitt's winning right now, up 8. This is the key to tonight's game here. At the ball screening, they switch. Blake Hinson will have his way inside. He wants to attack that smaller guy. The double team comes. He just power throughs it, and he has a chance for the and one. But once he starts skipping, it's just going to open up more and more opportunities for the Pitt Panthers to knock down threes. And they're already 5 and 6 from the three-point line.
We were talking at shoot-around, and you said those are matchups that Hinson is going to have, and if he can exploit them, those are potentially easy baskets for Pitt.
I think that's the key if Pitt makes a run at this or not. Because when he sets a ball screen, you have to switch. And when you don't, you saw the Pitt guards take advantage of it. And when you do, now you throw the ball to Hinson. He can back a guard down inside, force double team. It just makes everything easier for everyone else. He becomes your de facto point guard in the half-court set.
And I know it's been said often, but he has the build of that old school, undersized Pitt post player. You think of Chevy Troutman, Ontario Lett, DeJuan Blair. There's been others, but he's got that same build. Different type of game, however.
Yes, he plays more on the perimeter. That Pitt, the Pitt team that was in the Big East had a front line that was 6'7", 6'8" guys that was extremely physical.
Refs called those games a little differently, too. And we get a foul on the floor on Zachary. Guillermo Diaz-Graham, the sophomore from the Canary Islands, had checked in.
Because of his ability to knock down shots, he shoots 38% from the three-point line. You got to switch the ball screen. He goes inside, draws a foul, punishes the switch on the guard. Right now, this BC team is struggling because they're giving up everything.
Another three for Pitt, the second for Hinson, and the Panthers are 6 of 7 from deep.
And this Pitt team is, they make 9 a game, but they're not percentage-wise a great three-point shooting team outside of Hinson. They are on fire.
Harris cannot answer. McLaughlin fouled, going for the rebound. And that is on Hinson, and that's 2 on Blake Hinson.
Just coming off the pin down again, McLaughlin's late. And you have got to lock and trail. You cannot lose Hinson. That second foul, that's a difficult foul. The way Pitt started this game, the last thing you wanted to see if you're a Panthers fan.
Zachary, he's been better than 40% from 3 in conference play.
It's a really good three-point shoot. He doesn't take a lot. But they need him to get going. He has a physical size advantage when he decides to go inside as well. He usually plays inside the paint, but more than capable of knocking down threes.
William Jeffress checked in for Hinson. Low, the dribble drive so quick.
Difficult matchup now. You may have to change your ball screen defense. You're switching everything, and Pitt's just getting whatever they want. They're getting to the rim now. They started out knocking threes. Now they're getting in the paint and finishing at the rim.
Harris 0 for 4. Zachary's now made 8 of his last 11 threes. Shot clock down to 6. Madsen around Carrington. Shot altered. Was it tipped? No.
Just driving past Post there and getting to the lane. And again, it's because of the way they started so hot from the three-point line. You're switching everything, and then now they're beating you off the bounce. And this team was just taking off since Lowe's been in that starting lineup, and this is why, because he provides the ability to do that.
And then you bring Ishmael Leggett off the bench, the transfer from Rhode Island, where he comes in, he's got the ball now, and he can do this. He can attack, try to get to the rim, and try to score. McLaughlin the rebound. Jeffers could not finish.
He knows his role when he comes in. He plays like a starter, but when he comes in with that second unit, continue to attack and stay aggressive.
Quinten Post from the outside, a 43% three-point shooter as a 7-footer.
I think Quinten Post got frustrated because he was open inside a few times. He got it once early and he scored. He's going to take matters into his own hand. He can shoot it from the three. He has it all. He's so skilled as an offensive player.
Post has 7. Lowe creates separation. Rebound by Prince Alikbe.
I thought it was a great job by Quinten Post there, just backing up, keeping the ball in front of him, making Lowe take a contested pull-up jump shot.
You can tell Post wants the ball. He likes the matchup against Diaz-Graham. They get it to him.
Yeah.
McLaughlin, wild drive. Post hits the deck and a foul against Pitt.
He pops, he rolls, but you got to find him at all costs. Quinten Post shooting over 40% from 3, knocks down his first 3 tonight. Time for Sam to get his shot as an NBA head coach.
And he was a big part of 2 championships as a player with the Houston Rockets very early in his career as McLaughlin misses. That first championship, Cassell coming off the bench to spell Kenny Smith. And playing big minutes as a rookie on that 94 team.
He was, and he's always been a heck of a player. King of the mid-range. Got to his spots like this guy here.
Carrington's a pro. He's got NBA scouts drooling. Pitt's missed its last 4 from 3. Offense hasn't been the same since Blake Hinson went to the bench. Post backing down Diaz-Graham. That matchup's going to be there for BC.
I don't know why. They've missed him a couple of times already. I think good things happen when he touches the ball, just like we talked about Blake Hinson. There's a matchup issue trying to guard him. Let him touch the ball and dictate the coverage, and then let the other guys benefit from that.
9 points for Post. Diaz-Graham, a 39% three-point shooter.
Now with Hinson out, there's not as much of a threat to be inside. And if you notice, BC's doing a better job now of staying between the ball and basket and contesting shots.
Post with the reverse layup off the nice feed from Claudell Harris.
There's no matchup for him because you know you got to keep a bigger body against him. So put them in ball screen. You try to hedge and recover. You can't get back in time. He's already punished you by popping and knocking down a 3. You got to continue to run your offense through him.
Five to shoot. That one rims out. And BC can extend a 7-0 run. Pitt has missed 6 straight. And the Panthers have gone almost 4 minutes since their last point.
But you live by the 3. Now they're dying by the 3. They started out so hot, they continue to settle without a threat to attack the rim like that. 9 unanswered, and with Hinson on the bench, BC has closed the gap to 2. And also, Federico is not in there for rim protection. So now the guards at BC, they know he's not in there. They want to get downhill and get to the rim.
Zach Austin, terrific shot blocker at high point, getting ready to check in as Diaz-Graham ends the drought. It's the 7th 3 of this first half for Pitt.
Now with Diaz-Graham out there, he's going to pop. And so Post has to stay outside and not switch against the guard.
And he comes up with the steal. Carrington pushing right past Harris for the 2.
Great job of defensive end there. You got to turn that into quick offense. They did. Great job by the Panthers. They were able to knock down a 3 there, but now they're starting to get to the rim, get some layups. Expect teams to start settling in now with the defensive rotations and assignments.
Harris spins away, the step back. Offensive rebound, Post, 13 in the first half for Quinten Post.
If I'm BC, every time down the floor, he touches the basketball. He is just dictating matchups. There's no one on the Pitt roster right now that can guard him. Federico's probably the only guy, and he's probably too small. If you see him at the scores table, I think Jeff Capel's had enough.
Low will go to the line.
Quinten Post is having his way inside and out. Here's waiting on the double team, comes, spins away, gives you the...
On senior night, the Saturday Evening Post is in circulation.
He is having his way. It hasn't been a matchup problem from the very beginning, and I think they've missed him a handful of times. I mean, he could very well have close to 20 points, if not 20 points already. Every time he touched it, it seemed like it was just great things happening. I expect him to get a quick breather and get back out there. There's just no answer for him on the Pitt right now.
He impacts the game in so many ways. On the defensive end with his rebounding, his shot blocking. Offensively, he's a guy that shoots 50% from the field, 40% from 3, 80% from the stripe. He can pass the ball.
Yeah.
And you look at Joe Lenardi, the bracketology, Pitt on the bubble, but it's in that next group, one of the next 4 out. So if they win, this would be a quad 2 win. Doesn't help you a whole lot. It can hurt you.
It can hurt you, and the good thing for them is they go home for their final 2 games of the year against Florida State and NC State. And a chance to go to D.C. and maybe get a surprise win there to get them over the hump and into the tournament.
They were a tournament team last year when they had grown men in the starting lineup. They had an older starting lineup last year than the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They did. The veteran group and the elite guard play.
Carrington, the shot fake. It's tipped back, and the rebound and the putback.
That's an impressive play there by Guillermo Diaz-Graham. I mean, he couldn't get to it, tipping it to a teammate for a bucket. It's a high IQ play there by the sophomore big.
The lead is 9. It was 12 when Hinson left the game with his second foul. Now we get a foul on Pitt. ACC tournament again, just a week and a half away. Tuesday is our last regular season doubleheader on ACCN. Notre Dame against UNC. The Irish are at the bottom of the league, but they're playing better of late. And then Georgia Tech at Wake Forest. We saw Wake get ambushed by Notre Dame in South Bend. Wake has been perfect at home this season. That is a game the Demon Deacons cannot lose.
Absolutely. The Deeks are in a big one. You know, now, you know, against Virginia Tech is a big game that they need to win to stay on the right side of the bubble.
Zachary lets it fly too much. And Alik Bey throws it away. Wake Forest is almost the inverse of Pitt.
Yes.
Wake has been incredible at home, and they look lost at times on the road. Pitt, weirdly, 6 power conference road wins, 4th most in Division I.
Yes.
They seem to play better away from home, even though the Pete is one of the great home court advantages in college basketball.
It is, and it hurt them early. This team struggled so much at home, and then they're here, and it's just, you know, on the road. I mean, they've lost their last 2 at Wake and at Clemson, which is no shame to lose in those places. Wake's undefeated at home, and they just have been incredibly successful on the road, just making shots like they're doing here in the first half.
Zachary gets his red badge of courage taped up.
If you pitch, you got to be happy. Still with a 9-point lead, and Hinson come out shooting the basketball the way he did, and you guys have been able to sustain the lead.
Diaz-Graham open, cash.
Their 8th 3 of the half. This has been unbelievable to watch these guys come out. But this is what they're doing. I mean, it's what they do. This is their identity, to take and make a lot of threes and throw the percentages out. They do it in volume.
Miss every shot you don't take, right?
That's the motto I played by.
Here comes Post, spinning, throws it up off the backboard. Austin tips it back to Lowe.
They got numbers if they continue to push it.
And Lowe draws the foul.
And now, the most underrated thing about three-point shooting is you got to stop the dribble. Lowe strings out the double team there and forces the weak side guy to help on a roll. He helped on Federico, and got to get to Diaz-Graham in the corner. And at 6'11", you're not bothering his shot as a guard, closing out to him.
Zachary takes it away from Lowe.
Really good on-ball defender and one of the better leaders in the ACC's, 5th in steals, and you see why they're really physical guard. Really good quick hands and active feet.
Post over Federico, 15 for the Dutchman.
He's got to touch it every time. There's just not much anybody can do, and his advantage over Federico is in the post.
Leggett off the window, and Federico with the tip.
That's how he impacts the game offensively, just following up, being in that dunker spot. When your guards penetrate like that, you tell them, hey, don't fall down and don't get your shot blocked. The big rotates, get it on the glass. Federico attacks the offensive glass and able to contribute on the offensive end.
That's Donald Hand. He's another guy. He's not afraid to shoot.
No, it's taking him some time to come back from that torn ACL. Starting to settle down, get his legs up under him. The redshirt freshman.
At 11 really last weekend against NC State. Knocked down 3 triples. Great position for Leggett, who might be the 6th man of the year in the ACC this season.
You won't get an argument for me. That role just suits him well. He gets to come in and just be super aggressive. Think about only scoring the basketball. And he is their best perimeter defender. So he is a two-way player like now, creating that steal there.
Dangerous pass, broken up. Here comes Lowe. Diaz-Graham wants it. And the other way. Pull-up 3. Grazing the front rim.
I thought they had numbers in hand, had decided to attack the rim there and settle for the pull-up 3. That's part of the learning curve again. Even though he's a redshirt freshman, just hadn't had a lot of minutes. Feeling comfortable with his legs and it's just decision-making.
And they'll get a reach-in foul on Zachary. That's his second.
Smell Leggett just turning the corner, getting to the rim. He's going to call that an assist for his big man. It's just a difficult ask. I mean, Carolina's playing as well as anyone in the country. I think they're the #1 seed for a reason. Such a balanced team.
To Federico, who's got a chance for a 3-point play, and Federico, 6 points in this first half, averages less than 5 on the season.
You see Post there, they're switching the screen, they run a little sun action there, and BC had the matchup they want. Just can't simulate the length and athleticism of Federico. He just gets it and finishes.
He's a 42% free throw shooter.
Someone else with BC has to step up.
Now, Madsen's been quiet today. Almost a turnover. Harris tried to squeeze it into Post, wanted a foul. Leggett against Madsen, and he went right through him.
Just overpowered him at the rim there, initiated contact. You knew as aggressive as he was, coming off that bench and just embracing that 6-man role as BC calls timeout.
Timeout, Earl Grant. Pitt with its largest lead of the game. We're back in 30 seconds.
Depend keeps you drier than ever, so you can say yes to more than ever.
Yes! Yes. Yes. No.
Depend. The only thing stronger than us is you.
You always got your mind on the green. Not you. You. Your business bank account with QuickBooks Money now earns 5% APY. That's how you business differently. Intuit QuickBooks.
The Ally ACC Women's Basketball Tournament begins Wednesday at Greensboro Coliseum. Every matchup with the championship game will be right here on ACC and the app. First round coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern Wednesday with the Nothing But Net crew. Boston College today a little short-handed on senior night, missing their sophomore Chaz Kelly, who's also the backup point guard.
Yes, and they're missing him right now. You need his decision-making and his ball handling. And we talked about what having the two-point guard lineup has done to the Pittsburgh offense. It's also one of the reasons Post doesn't have the ability to get the ball in the post, because they can't post feed him, because Zachary's the only guy that usually does it.
And the double team came too late, and Post has been a one-man wrecking ball. 17 points in the opening half.
That's one of those things with his guys right now. You know he has it going. Let him touch it. Let the double team come, and it'll allow easy opportunities for yourself.
Carrington gets free. Back iron. Second chance.
DC's really confused in their ball screen defense. They've changed it up so many times. Just continue with the ball screen.
Low to Carrington for the easy two. So the ball screen's giving them trouble. BC has his own defense in its back pocket. And on paper, you might say, why would you play zone against the Pittsburgh team that can make threes at a ridiculous rate when they're on? But is it something you consider?
Well, it is, because right now you're giving up everything. You're giving up pull-ups. You're giving up uncontested layups at the rim as McLaughlin draws the foul, and you're giving up threes. At least the zone would allow you to take something away. And I think right now BC needs to decide which defense they want to sustain, because they can't stop the penetration off the ball screens. Supposed to switch there, easy drive, rotation, and it doesn't get any easier than that. That'll be the easiest 2 points Bub Carrington will get all day. And
something you told me earlier today. As a player,
yes,
you were a guy who could knock down the outside shots.
Yes.
How did you feel about playing against the zone?
I hated the zone. I hear so many people say all the time they don't like the zone because a guy can shoot. I can assure you, shooters don't like zone because it limits how you involve yourself in the game. There's not a lot of movement. You're just standing around. You just don't have as many plays against the zone as you do man-to-man. And I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions from a player standpoint of playing against the zone.
I think you got Jim Boeheim to smile in the studio.
I know how tough it is to play against that. And it's like this game now. Let's watch how many threes Pitt has hit, and let's watch how many they continue to make as the game go on. There's a difference in making them threes against the zone, but when you make them for 40 minutes. And that's the key. But right now, BC's giving up threes and layups, and you can't do both.
McLaughlin was not the one called for that last foul. They got it on Post, so Post has two. Zachary, who hits the three, playing with two fouls. Hinson on the bench for Pitt with two fouls.
Great shot there by Zachary. Now, one of the things that Zachary likes to do is a big guard. When Post is out, he likes to post up. But if he has Bub Carrington on him, he's 6'6", so he doesn't have the advantage there. That's one of the problems that this Pitt team also has, is the size of their backcourt.
Diaz-Graham puts it on the floor, fouled by McLaughlin. That's two on Devin McLaughlin. So McLaughlin, Post, and Zachary all with two fouls in this opening half.
I mean, now with Post out of the game, Zachary's got to be the guy to step up and carry this team offensively. He knocks down a three there. And how about Guillermo Diaz-Graham? He's knocked down a couple of threes, close out on him. Now he's putting it on the deck. And at his size, just one dribble and he's at the rim. He is playing extremely well.
Our next All Access, the ACC Life, premieres Monday night. It features the number 5 Virginia Tech women's basketball team, Pitt gymnastics, and Miami women's golf. You get unprecedented access into the lives of these student athletes, the coaches, the staff, parents, and fans. That's 7 Eastern after ACC PM on Monday.
Big possession here for BC. You want to have something positive as you go into halftime here. Post is in the game. I would imagine you got to let him touch it.
17 points on 8 of 11 shooting for Post.
We'll see the ball
a
screen
2-second differential, game clock and shot clock.
Look at the fade screen for Post coming up.
And a rare miss here in the first half by Post. Final seconds. Leggett pulls up. Off the backboard and no good. And Pitt takes a 15-point lead into halftime. 8 threes in the opening 20 minutes.
Just a
Odell Harris trying to bust out of a shooting slump. That's not the way to do it.
And that's the type of possessions you don't want if you're BC coming out. We just talked about and highlighted how dominant Post has been. And the first possession, you come off a ball screen without reading it, and you take a three and not allowing him to touch it.
Harris 1 for 8 tonight, 0 for 4 from 3. His last 12 games, he's been held below double figures 7 times. Only happened twice in his first 15 games.
And on the other end, look here, Pitt goes right to their guy who's had it going early in the matchup nightmare we talked about.
Post came over to help, and he gets the block.
Great job by Post, as we talked about it. Really good help defender. Now he touches it, and you play off that. If he's one-on-one, you leave him alone. Help comes, he'll pass it.
19 for Post.
Plenty of time here to get back in here. I just expect Post to touch it quite a bit. And even if you're Pitt for Hinson, you don't have to force anything. You're getting any shots you want if you just move it.
Shot clock at 7. Low from 15. Adson, the drive. McLaughlin can't finish it.
You got numbers if he continues to push it.
Federico instead pushes it back. Low, the lob to Federico, the double. Austin, the corner 3. Not there. Low scrambles for the rebound.
It's a backbreaker to give up offensive rebounds to a team that's shooting as well, but just so spread out because of their ability to knock down threes like that as they knock down their 9th 3 here first of the second half. You're so cognizant of running at shooters. You're so spread out. Can't get inside and box out. Overextended, long shots, long rebounds. Guards got to get in there.
12 second-to-chance points for Pitt. And Low now in double figures for the 8th straight game. Carrington after the steal. Gives it up.
That's where his next step of development is. Again, he's predetermining his decision-making and jumped in the air to pass that. No need with his size and vision. Just stay on the ground and read the defense. Something he'll get better at as he watches more film and mature. Everybody, even though he's a freshman, he's still a young freshman.
Madsen, meanwhile, scoreless tonight. He had been averaging 16 in the last 6 games as a starter. However, he was 1 for 10 from 3 Wednesday night against Virginia. Carrington off the window, no, tipped, and Post is there.
Good decision there by attacking the rim here by Zachary.
And the emphatic block by Zach Austin, who was top 20 nationally in blocks last year with High Point.
And he does a great job, even in the ACC here, coming from the weak side. Look at him timing that block, coming over, and he and Federico are both tied for 7th in the ACC, fighting with his teammate. I think he wound up them now, so he's in 7th place or 6th place, leaving his teammate in 7th.
Last touch, Austin. For BC, the way back into this game is what?
Someone eventually has to step up, but play through post. You know they're coming to double. You get McLaughlin driving to the rim, and then you get your guard spacing on the perimeter to get open shots. But while you still have time, it's okay. Dump it inside the post.
It's senior night for BC. Eagles trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. And McLaughlin drains the 3. BC's a team where they've got 6 wins in conference. All of them have come against the bottom 4 in the league. They beat Notre Dame twice, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Miami. The lone win outside of those 4 was a win against Syracuse. It's the only team they've beaten conference with a winning record. Madsen still looking for his first field goal. Not there. Low, open. Not there.
This won't show up on his stat sheet, but great defensive decision there by McLaughlin. He was sitting in the corner on Hinson and had to make a decision because BC didn't match up. Do I give up the 3 to Lowe or Hinson? He stayed home, made Lowe take the shot. Fortunately for BC, he missed.
Zachary turbines inside, it rims out. Pitt only has 1 made field goal in the second half, but BC just 2 of 8 to begin the second half.
That's Federico's strength there to switch. Keeps the guard in front. Can't do this.
Hinson wide open, and he missed it.
Yeah, you're lucky he missed it. I think a lot of that is just coming back into the game, not having played much in the first half, but they got to get their coverages right. There's 2 point-blank looks they've given up. They've been fortunate the last 2 that Pitt has missed.
Post the runner.
And if you're BC, you got to be concerned at one point that Post is going to fatigue. Someone else has had to step up and get involved in his offense.
Pitt's gone more than 3 minutes since its last basket. Austin knocks down the 3. That is the 10th 3 for Pitt. Panthers are 10-3 this season when making at least 10 threes.
And you're going to give him that. You see the percentages. He doesn't take a lot of them. And you're going to help on the penetration, and you're going to concede that. And unfortunately, when you're down by 16, every shot matters, and he's much more comfortable doing that when he's up so big. But you got to figure out a way to get out to him and make him challenge his shot.
Carrington picks up his second foul.
This is a great job coming over by Zach Austin, doing Zach Austin things on the defensive end. But, oh, wait, he's also knocking down threes, putting Pitt up 16.
Robinson was a standout at BC, averaged almost 18 a game, currently on the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors in town to take on the Celtics tomorrow, and that means Jerome is in the house today.
He's a lot like me. He had a lot more hair back then when he was in college as well. Looked like one of my pitchers, but boy, could he score that basketball.
He and Kai Bowman, quite the backcourt duo.
Yes.
I would say send it in, but with respect to Pitt. That's Jerome Lane.
But that Jerome right there was a bucket. He could score it. And I mean, very efficient scoring it.
Low, the steal. Up ahead to Leggett, up and under.
That is just a microcosm of the game today. You come out of timeout with a play to execute, and you give up a pick 6 turnover there, and it just feels like the time is now for BC if they want to get back in this game.
And BC right now taking tough contested shots. Leggett the pull-up, and the rebound to a league bank. What's impressed you the most about the job Jeff Capel has done this season with Pitt?
Well, because he's winning in different ways. I mean, last year we talked about how old this team was and how experienced it was. Then he turns right around this year with the inexperienced backcourt. And they're right there trying to play themselves back in the tournament. And this team is starting to play their best basketball. I know they've lost a couple of games on the road, but it's no shame to losing at Clemson or at Wake Forest on the road. And the way they're shooting the ball, the confidence he gives his group, the way they defend, they're just not a team you want to play. And they take care of business here. They get to go back home, defend their home court, and look out Washington, D.C. in the ACC tournament.
They started 1-5 in conference play, and Jeff Capel knew going in this team was going to go as far as his young backcourt would take them. And we have seen Lowe and Carrington both come along and both play better, especially Lowe. Carrington had some moments early.
Yes.
Lowe, since he moved into the starting lineup, has been a catalyst.
And he wasn't healthy early in the year. Now he's healthy. These guys, this late in the year, they're sophomores, and it's taking pressure off Bub Carrington to have to create for himself and others, and it's just another facilitator, ball handler, and shooter.
Hinson hit from behind by Zachary, and that's 3 on Jaden Zachary.
Just miscommunication there on BC again and giving up a point-blank layup as you look at the trio of guards. And it's Leggett coming in off the bench. He plays like a starter, but him coming off the bench he brings a production from the bench that not a lot of teams have. Not many teams has a guy coming in with that type of defensive intensity and scoring 12 points a game. And that role, he's been a star in that role.
You said he's got your vote if you had one for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yes. Yes, I think he is been as good as anyone. There's others. I think I like to wait till the end of the year, but I'll tell you this, he is playing as well as anyone.
Meanwhile, Quinten Post has been Hercules tonight. He's done it all for BC. He's got 23 of the Eagles' 41. That's a goaltending call. It went in anyway.
See him cutting to the basket. They're able to finish, and he didn't have the advantage off the cut. He has the size over Diaz-Graham. Trying to put the ball to the Hinson. They're looking to Post.
And that's an offensive foul on Diaz-Graham, who got Post with an elbow. It's 3 on the Spaniard.
He'll learn. You got to turn his square up there. There's no reason that he got slapped and he trying to shield off. If you turn his square up, the threat of driving would make Post back up. And, you know, when you turn your back to the defense, you're inviting them to pressure the ball. Great job with Post with his experience pressuring the young Spaniard there.
Federico back in there, manning the 5 for Pitt.
He's doing a really good job of using his length. He's backing up, helping these guards on the ball screens, dribble handoffs, then he's getting back out the post.
He was trying to deny Post, who turns, faces. He's going to hit that. There's not much you can do.
There's nothing you can do. It's why we highlighted early. He's a 50, 40, 80 guy, and there's just not many guys that have that. And when you add his ability to, with 3 assists and 2 blocks, like we said, the last guy to put those numbers up like that was the big skinny freshman from the Virgin Islands that played with me at weight.
Yeah, he turned out to be okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I thought he was a little overrated at one point.
Overrated?
Yeah, he's only one of the top 10 greatest players ever played a game.
He didn't talk enough trash for your liking.
Good day, sir.
Oh, wait. You like Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar?
17 shooting. The problem is the ensemble cast is yet to show up.
Yeah, it's 25 points in 26 minutes, and we talked to Coach Earl Grant earlier today, and he said we're at our best when we have balanced scoring, and today he has anything but that. Post has had to put this team on his back.
Great feed by Lowe, and Carrington connects freshman to freshman.
It's what we talked about why this team is so deadly, because now, before Lowe has taken that step, it was only Carrington having to make those decisions, and now he gets shots like that, created easy opportunities for him and good looks, and it's helped his game as well. Those freshmen are playing well off each other.
A team high 13 for Carrington, and they'll get Federico with a hold.
Just a great find by Lowe, forcing rotation. They drop down and take away the drop off of Federico, and Carrington just with his confidence just laces it in. People don't talk about him as much, about freshman of the year, but this guy is the only freshman that has won the award 4 times, and he is right there. Him and McCain and Burton, and with this team making a push to make it to the NCAA, Bub Carrington is a big part of that.
Carrington falling away. Another rebound by Post.
That's typically the shot Bub Carrington likes. Probably needs to be a little bit more balanced on that. No need to fade away. And Federico challenging that shot there. Forcing hand to put that up higher off the glass than he wanted to.
Carrington on the drive. The drop off for Federico. If these 2 freshmen, Lowe and Carrington, continue to grow and the confidence blooms, Pitt becomes dangerous in the ACC tournament. Very dangerous.
Just that play, you saw the growth and the adjustment made there. He settled for a jump shot, a couple of possessions. That time he didn't settle. Drove in the paint, forced rotation. Dropped it off to his big fella for the finish.
Post keeps it alive, hand throws it up, and Federico cleans.
Now you see Coach, he's putting Hinson in the corner. He knows the guards get the putting a shooter in the corner, so in the dribble handoff, they just turn in the corner.
Carrington a three. Pitt with its largest lead of the game, and 16 for the freshman.
And the issue with BC again, you've tried everything. You tried to chase him over early. He turns the corner. That time they tried to cut it. They stopped, they popped, they knocked down threes. They just have no answer for this Pitt offense right now.
Post with a double-double tonight. Claudell Harris. Now, BC has just not had the same Claudell Harris of late that they did in non-conference. Hinson lets it fly and connects.
Wow.
13 threes for Pitt on 24 attempts.
I said it was a horse game. I think it's just in the gym shooting by themselves right now. Pitt is shooting lights out here. Made 13 of 24 from behind the line.
Pitt with a commanding lead on Boston College, and some good news for the Panthers. Wake Forest lost at Virginia Tech, so Pitt needs some help to move into the top four and get that double bye. They're 0-2 against Clemson on the season. They're 0-2 against Syracuse. They split with Wake, but that door remains ajar. And we got a foul underneath against Pitt.
If you're Pitt, you're just worried about your own business right now. You have to continue to play because you got to play your way into the tournament here. I mean, this is your last road game. You go home for the final 2 games of the year, and they've got some quad one wins. I mean, at Duke and Wake and at UVA, they struggled early to start the season, and they just got to finish strong. I think if they can get in, they can win out and then get to the ACC tournament and win a game in it, one game or two, I think they got a chance.
Harris needed that. He's now 2 for 10. And Pitt's closing schedule, no gimmies.
No.
Florida State at home, NC State at home. NC State's going to be desperate. Florida State has scuffled of late. That game will be Tuesday. And then they finish next weekend at the Pitt against the Wolfpack.
Well, there's a desperation that they're going to play with, and they need it. They know that they're right there. They know they're close, and there's going to be a lot of movement with teams around the bubble. Stop looking around. Just continue to come in here and take care of business like you've done here today.
Now, the other part of this, which is interesting, is as Carrington knocks down a three, you may not want that double bye, as strange as it sounds, because that first neutral site game in the previous round, the second round, that single bye, that might be an opportunity for a quad one win potentially if you're Pitt.
Oh, and it also is that, but when you get this late in the season, the extra day of rest becomes a factor. And I think that's one of the reasons why the double bye, because you're talking about someone else had played the game before. So they're coming in having to play their second game in 2 days, and you prefer to be the fresher team.
3 for Zachary. Let's say you're in that 8-9 game. That's the scenario I'm envisioning. You're probably facing off against another bubble team, whether it's a Wake, it's a Syracuse. And again, the outcome of that game, head-to-head, tournament format, neutral court, could go a long way come Selection Sunday.
Absolutely. And that's why I say the double bye helps you, because you can be the fresher team. You know, playing that game and having the other team having played that game the day before, that their season, more than likely knowing they're playing a win or else game, as at 8 or 9.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you're in that 8-9 game and you don't have the double bye, and if you can win that game, you have essentially 2 opportunities for quad one wins.
Absolutely.
And then if you lose in the semis, so be it. You might have a real shot at getting in with the 2 wins.
Absolutely. Matchups is just such a big part of seedings as well.
Boy,
wow.
Carrington.
Wow.
6 threes tonight. He's got 22.
I talked to Sam Cassell at halftime. He said, I came to see Bob, and Bob is putting on a show from behind the three-point line.
.6:12 to go in regulation. Pitt in full control.
See you guys tomorrow.
UNC, Duke, Virginia, Clemson, the top 4 right now, all with double byes. NC State, Florida State would be the 8-9 game. Pitt right now sitting at a 7 seed. Virginia Tech got a win against Wake, so if you're projecting, again, what it looks like today, if it would be Pitt, Virginia Tech in that game, as Carrington hits his 7th three and sets a career high with 25 points.
At this point, you got to say, I might want to take him out and save some of this.
Post for 3. He's got 30.
He has 30 and 12, and, I mean, he has had little to no help from the rest of this BC lineup. And now, because of the way the guard's playing, now you got to switch. And Bob Carrington now, because of the way he's knocking down threes against Post, he gets whatever he wants.
Heat check. He's earned a couple.
Oh, he's earned it, definitely.
Like you were going to say, he hasn't.
He just has the advantage, you know? I mean, the way he's been shooting, that's a good shot.
From the elbow. And Post and Diaz, Graham get tangled down low. A.J. Desai trying to separate the two. I believe the basket is good. I thought the whistle came after the shot went in, but they may check.
Calling a foul on Post and those guys getting tangled up.
But the basket is good. Third foul on Post. Sixteen made three-pointers for Pitt. Carrington's got 7. Hinson's got 3. And that is way too easy for Blake Hinson. He's got 17. He only played about 6 minutes in the opening half.
But that's what he does. I mean, when this team is playing at their best, he's the key because his ability to punish the switch like that. And if he's willing to go inside and stay committed to that, then this Pitt team becomes a difficult out.
With the ACC tournament just a week and a half away, Tuesday is our last regular season doubleheader on ACCN. Notre Dame heads to North Carolina. Irish starting to play well. They've got a young backcourt too. Braden Shrewsbury, Marcus Burton, and then Georgia Tech visiting Wake Forest. That's a game the Demon Deacons cannot lose. Reverse dunk by Austin.
Again, set up by the ball screen, the switch by Hinson. Now he scored possession before. Now you got to come and double team him. He finds the cutting Austin, and
Post turns it over. Carrington, the lob, Hinson, the flush.
Hinson showing you I got bounced too. I'm so much more than a three-point shooter.
The timeout on the floor. 3:37 left in regulation.
Carrington to Hinson, up, and away with the flush. Dominant performance here by Pittsburgh.
As the head of HR, I help lead a successful home security firm. Our team's
season day in the ACC. Pitt on the bubble. This is a game that doesn't really help their case. It could dent their resume. Strong gets fouled by Federico. And for Pitt, the story today, when it goes, and it has been a monsoon of threes tonight.
That's the opening possession of the game right there, knocking down threes. And they hadn't stopped since, and everybody's in on the act. Low, and no one's been hotter than Bub Carrington, reminding everyone why he's one of the freshmen considered as ACC Freshman of the Year, and he's starting to play his best basketball. Even coming off the Clemson loss, he had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, and he has followed it up here tonight with an incredibly strong performance with a career high in points, 5 assists as well. Just reminding everyone how special talent that he is.
He is someone who began his collegiate career with a triple-double. 16 threes for Pitt. It matches the season high set against West Virginia. A program record is 18, set last year against Wake. Step back by Lowe. Carrington's not the only freshman.
No.
Lowe's got a dozen, and he's got 9 assists tonight.
You see him wave out the confidence that these guys are playing with. You see he has McLaughlin on him, and he's just like, hey, you know, don't come set the screen. I like this matchup. Gets to his spot.
Post gets blocked. Here comes Lowe. Austin passes on the wide open 3 and draws 2 shots. The Ally ACC Women's Basketball Tournament gets underway Wednesday at Greensboro Coliseum. First round coverage starts at 12:30 Eastern with the Nothing But Net crew. And Ishroff, Randolph, Childress, and Randolph, when you talk about growth for a young player, Jalen Lowe, he's got the 9 assists tonight. He's scoring more consistently. But now in his last 6 games, he has a total of 7 turnovers.
And that's what this team does. It allows them to shoot that many threes because earlier they were making too many turnovers and they weren't getting attempts. Now they're starting to get them up, and Jeff tells them you can't make them if you don't shoot them. So they're not taking the basketball, turning it over. They only have 5 here tonight, and you're not going to always knock down 16 threes, but the threat of knocking down at least the 9 that they do continues to open up the paint. They need to keep Federico on the floor because his ability to protect the rim, and even when they go to the bench and Diaz Graham comes in at 6'11" with his length, it's just nearly 2 mobile, athletic 7-footers that you have to deal with in the paint. And Quinten Post has played well, but it's really bothered all the other guys for BC.
And it might be somewhat lost now that it's a 30-point game. But Pitt really did a nice job in the first half withstanding a tipping point. Blake Hinson picks up 2 early fouls. Yes. Pitt had a 12-point lead. BC goes on a mini run. Hinson does not come back for the rest of the first half, and Pitt still ended up with a 15-point halftime lead.
They ended up extending the lead because of this guard play. Just driving, they're picking the matchups. Now they switch, they get like that, they get into the spots. So now BC, they've changed defenses so much. They tried drop coverage, then they tried to hedge and recover, and then now they're just switching, and then the guards are just dictating the matchup. Whether it's McLaughlin or his post, it's just difficult for them to guard these guards at the 3-point line.
27 for Carrington. And able to draw the foul.
They're just communicating with each other and having to continue to defend. Really impressive performance here by the Panthers. Both ends of the floor.
And it's been well chronicled that Pitt's been really good on the road this season and at times inconsistent at home, but you get to draw it up where you get a big road win here against BC, and you do finish up with 2 games at home against Florida State and NC State. If you're Pitt, that is an opportunity to take care of business and set yourself up for the ACC tournament.
Everything you want to accomplish is right in front of you. This is one of those teams, they're playing better, they're starting to round into shape, and they're a difficult team to play against with their length and their willingness and confidence to shoot the 3. But then with Lowe has added them and this ability to dictate matchups now that he has post, they just want to say, hey, go one-on-one. We like our chances. Force rotation, kick out to the 3-point shooters like this.
Madsen 0 for 5 today. We get a timeout from Earl Grant to 1:06 to go, and might see the walk-on Abe Atia get in on senior night. Quinten Post on senior night leaves the floor, gets a standing ovation from the Conti Forum crowd. And if this is his final home game for BC, 30 points, 14 for 22 from the field, 12 rebounds. It wasn't the team performance BC would have liked. Quinten Post was magnificent.
He left it all on the floor, and great job by these fans giving him a standing ovation. He's been deserving of it, and it's not a lot of time you've had a 7-footer here in BC that's put up these type of numbers.
Madsen finally hits the three. His first basket, his first points of the game.
Too little too late here for BC.
Lowe is 1 assist away from a double-double.
Might get it here.
Marshall off with the three. It belongs to BC. And here comes Abe Atia, senior walk-on. Got the start today on senior night from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And a chance to finish out his BC career at home with a few more reps. Jaden Zachary honored on senior night as well, comes to the bench. Atia hits the three, and the BC bench loves it. Even in defeat, a moment for the walk-on.
It's one of those things that is so missed, I think, in college basketball, that guys don't get those opportunities. They put in the work, they work so hard, and it's even sweeter when a senior gets to his first shot. Won't get many, and great job by the bench guys celebrating him even in defeat.
And Madsen, another senior, gets a standing ovation as he comes to the bench. That'll do it. Pitt gets the last word on BC's senior night. Jeff Capel's team has now won 9 of its last